Okay. Much better. smiling? 6? That is fucking crazy. Fun. Super low gauge. Fucking don't like playing metal only, even though I like playing a lot of metal. On my way back from the dentist at 9:30, I'm gonna get some more strings again. 9:30, yeah. Yeah, I'm just getting the crown on, right? The one that they broke or whatever. you still turntable stuff, but like someone like me who just like forces people are like ready to leave, man. I set them up to leave really fast if they want to. Really nice. Get pretty fast, but like when I watch yeah, oh, that one's old. I think it's has it been open. Yeah, I mean it's bad. Once it's open, you can't. I fucked up, then I should have drank it. Didn't know where it was. It gets bad pretty fast. Ugh. California. Nice to meet you, man. How are you doing today? I swear this is not what I normally do. But my electric back there has been pissing me off, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna restring my acoustic. Shouldn't take too long. Oh yeah. All that grime. You tell me I like playing with that. That's the best. What do we need to get here? Do you play? Or play any instruments? Rip. I mean, that's how it goes, man. There's ups and downs. Indian classical instrument called the tabla. I mean, you might pick it back up. I've been playing, as you can tell, a lot of instruments for like 22 years, 23, I don't know. And there's definitely moments where I stop playing and then I get back in, Definitely. Same. Actually, that's how I started out. I can't read music nowadays. It takes me a long time. Like I can't read proficiently, right? You know what I mean? But I do know music theory pretty well. And I don't think I could have went the classical route, man. I would have lost my brain. started with metal. This thing was grimy. Holy moly. Oh yeah. One of my best friends when I was younger. He started out as a bassist. It didn't really click for him. Political beliefs. Um, I'm an independent who has quite a lot of different values that I think kind of honestly are all over the place. I'm not really a centrist though. I definitely have strong opinions. If you stick around long enough, I have conviction in them too. But um, I live in the U.S., right, and I think Trump is a danger to this country. I just think it's irrespective of left and right. I think he's a fascist, and I think I could defend that well against someone who thinks otherwise. I think he is a very real danger. People aren't really fully aware of because they're swept up in the movement. Historically, something that has happened very easily and in the same way, you know. So, but my actual political beliefs are kind of all over the place. I think. All right, time to restrain. Yeah, yeah. I, I'm full. I'm definitely aware of the risk. Thank you for the thought, though. I think I'd rather die than live in a country that fucking, like I want to have kids, man. I think I'm gonna raise kids in a country that fucking couldn't live myself. I'm okay. That's the thing about having conviction in your beliefs. Yeah, yeah. I live in South Orange County, so very heavily Hispanic area. They're really, I mean, they could, depending on how. Honestly, it's really going to come down to how someone reports you. I think, right? I mean, if someone doesn't like me enough to where they actually report me, then I think I'd probably have to worry. But until then, I'm gonna keep essentially fighting against one of the most deplorable people on the planet and try and get back to real politics, conservatism, and progressivism and the like. Because Trump is not a conservative. I don't, anyone who fucking thinks that is just lost and needs help. Which town is that? Yeah, so I live in California in SoCal, and it's like 50%. But you have to remember that ICE is trying to go to immigrant communities, like illegal immigrant communities. And Vinland, New Jersey is not exactly somewhere that a destination for illegal immigrant communities. Here, we have a lot of illegal immigrants, but I mean, there are ways to deal with this that are different than what Trump is doing. Trump is utilizing the threat, made up moral panic around them. It's a complex thing, but it's not like we should just let illegals into the country. But we need to address this a different way for sure. Trump chose the simple, lazy, easy, fascist way, which is point the stick, you know, commit the judgment. What fucking unaccountable, lazy fucking people do, in my opinion. Oh shit, I did it the wrong way. literally stringing it the wrong way, guys. What am I doing? I mean, we honestly needed to secure the border, and if you want to know something, guys, Trump did a very good job of doing that here. While I'm doing this, I'll pull some stuff up. Trump actually has secured the border, as funny as that sounds. But it is true. So let me bring up something real fast. Oh yeah. Well, if you want my opinion on how we could fix this, I have written a solution about this, okay? And it's going to be it's something that no one really can agree on. That's kind of our problem right now, okay? Oh, that's the wrong one. Hello. I need you to be It's me twice. Let's go. You are garbage. Properties. Encounters. Here we go. I'll show you a few things while I'm doing this, okay? Force SDR. There we go. So I'm going to bring up border encounters right now. There's only about 9,000 on the southwest border. Yeah, I mean, that's the danger of fascism, though, right? Fascism preys on, honestly, very appealing rhetoric, right? Very appealing thing. That's why fascism is kind of scary, because it does appeal to someone in a very, I don't want to say like conveniently appealing again, but it's when you hear fascist rhetoric, it's simple and it sounds good. Make America great again, right? Like it's the most fascist thing I could ever fucking think of. But these are the encounters right now. We have 11,000 in February, 11,000 March, 12,000 April, 12,000 May, 9,000 June, 9,000 August. That is nothing. So Trump has shown he can secure the border at least. Now, this isn't a fix though. He just ended asylum. So ending asylum is why the U.S. has no more encounters, because people were just abusing the asylum system, right? It's legal immigration used inappropriately. What that means, this is not a problem that's fixed yet. So Trump has only done 1/3 of what I think would be necessary for this. And the other things he would have to do, I have an Obsidian that I already wrote all this out, okay? So I'm going to pull this up as well. That way you guys can read it. I'm just going to change this browser actually, because we don't need this anymore. Boom. Properties. All right, so this is what I wrote for Obsidian, okay? This is my own personal writing. I'll make it a little bigger for you guys as well. Oh yeah, 100%. You definitely can't do that. That is, yeah, obviously. You guys can read that, right? Oh. I'll just make it a little bigger on right here for right now, just for a second. Let me know if you can't read it. One of the most important parts about vetting, by the way, and if you're curious, my background, I majored in econometrics, okay? So economics with statistical mathematical analysis, right? I didn't get my degree, but I talk a lot about economics on here, okay? And for proper immigration to work, you need to know. So it's not just for like, are they terrorists? You need to know how to spend money to assimilate the people who are trying to come into your country. If you don't know who they are at all, then it's going to be very hard for you to do that, right? So, very important part. God damn it. Oh, there it is. I was like, why is this not going in? Oh yeah. I mean, that's another problem though, right? The US has abandoned the institutional strength of its education system. It's completely overhauled the way in which it actually used to be good, and we no longer can supply our own labor. So we other countries haven't tried to emulate what we used to have, and the US is abandoning what we used to have. And that's not going to lead to good outcomes. We can already see that. That's why we need people from like India and China, and we just don't produce somehow, even with the greatest institutional strength and education on the fucking planet, we just can't produce it anymore because we've incentivized something not educational. We've incentivized like business degrees and fucking, retarded fucking degrees like that. And personally, I think it's been, I mean, there's a lot of arguments to be made here, but there's no reason that we needed to subsidize education at the university level through loan programs. I It's essentially a self-fulfilling prophecy where colleges figured out that an 18-year-old can go to the government and get any fucking amount they want or need no matter what. It's just literally promised. So colleges got smart and were like, okay, why don't we just raise tuition? If they can get a guaranteed loan, what's going to stop them from coming anyway? So we the really bad government policy from Reagan, and Nixon is the one who started it actually in like the 70s to the 80s, where they thought that giving choice, giving government money to students on a loan or a grant to then go to the college just incentivized a really bad you know infinite money glitch for colleges, because if it's guaranteed, then how the fuck why does it matter? It doesn't matter. Like, if for this to actually not be a self-fulfilling prophecy, like, you can't just go into a bank and get a guaranteed loan on a home. So like that works out okay, right? But college, it was guaranteed. So personally, we could have just not did that, kept it how we used to, where governments just funded the universities directly. But the choice individual aspect of it is a little too strong for some ideological people or reasons for people. Definitely incentivize, like, not going to school for education, going to school for a job, you know. And even in like immigrant communities who say like, oh, you're going to be a doctor, like India, they still have this outlook that they're getting an education, right? They're not like, I'm doing this for a job, unless it's like a fucking doctor. Like, even a doctor or something like that is far different than like a kid who's like, I need to get a job with a business degree, in my opinion. One's more technical, one's much more like specialized. I mean, they're different. There's no PhD business fucking dudes who are like contributing to like the fucking, even like a gender studies degree that Charlie Kirk would fucking complain about. At least we can use gender studies to study human health, because the best controls, I shit you not, the best controls for studying female and male like biological um, research is trans people, because they have like hormonal differences that essentially make perfect controls. So like, that person is still contributing more than a fucking business degree loser who's just like, I can make an Excel spreadsheet, and you're like, cool, dude. There's like 1,000 apps now. I'm glad you can barely write the code or barely write in the formula, but like, go fuck yourself. Worthless. Definitely been in a nosedive. Um, it is, yeah. And there's no reason it needs to be like that. I think, and I truly believe this, that like, just how we think the jobs will come naturally when technology expands, right? In capitalism. Well, that's my point is that if you were a college, Rich, if you were a college and you knew that the students who are coming to your school had guaranteed loans, as in like, let's say they need in 1972 they needed $1,500 for a semester or for a year, and you knew that they would get guaranteed $1,500 from the government, what would you do the next year? What is the exact thing that everyone would do the next year? It's not government subsidies. We give government loans through the Department of Education to people directly on behalf of government institution. So like if you were the college in that scenario, what would you do? I'll tell you what I would do. I would raise it to 1700 the next year. And then the next year 1900 because why not? I mean, it's just no one's getting denied the loans. There's no risk. Raise it. Who cares? That's essentially what happened over the last 50, 40 years. I mean, why not? And that's a mixture of bad government policy and economic hegemony thought. So like Milton Friedman was someone who I like Milton Friedman. I think he's a wonderful mathematician. Contributed a lot to microeconomics. Has an entire school that he proliferated essentially, right? Neoclassical. But Milton Friedman doesn't know how to apply macroeconomics that well. I just like there's a reason he wrote books about macroeconomics, and there's a reason he had publications about microeconomics. He just thought that like and perpetuated the policy that like somehow this would work out if we just give kids choice. And he didn't really, in my opinion, understand that the government would be supplying these loans. And if people need to go to school, then we can't put really stringent restrictions like we would for a house. I completely missed the forest for the trees there, in my opinion. Buying a house, obviously, you can't just go into a bank and get a guaranteed loan. So therefore, housing is not going to just go up every year in that way. There's other things doing that. What am I doing now? Did you guys read this? Just curious. Do you have any thoughts on this? This is my idea for solving immigration personally. Oh yeah, shock doctrine is flood the zone essentially. It's used by fascist or communist authoritarian governments to overwhelm essentially. I think that should be good. Jesus. You guys have thoughts on this? A lot of people this by the way is a bill in my opinion that has constantly been debated since like 1998. Okay, guys. So e-verify here for illegal immigration has been a subject in my Congress, like U.S. Congress, since 1998 or 1996. Actually, e-verify is a government website where you can go as an employer. Okay. Fuck, I do need another window capture line. Actually, I'm just gonna make this a little smaller. I'm gonna make me a little smaller for you guys. There we go. And get rid of browser here. Get rid of you. Oh my god, I suck. There we go. All right, so E-Verify, okay? E-Verify is a government website that's been in the US since 1996, and any employer can instantly check if their employee is an undocumented immigrant using this. It's just very easy to do. Extremely easy to do. Where is my... Oh, there it is. So, well, thank you for the cheap viewers. Now, we've had plenty of bills that have tried to mandate this, okay? And I want to point out that if you read my thing, my little exactly. We have like 15 or 14 million people in this country who are illegal, okay? So, if we try to mandate E-Verify, as in try and mandate something to punish the employers without giving pathways to citizenship for most of the people who are in this country already, which people have, DACA, Dreamers. There's a bill right now called the Dignity Act, guys. I don't know if you've seen that, but there's a bill literally that was trying to get passed in Congress like not that long ago by Maria that does exactly what I say here. Mandates E-Verify. It gives, criminal provisions for like illegal reentry. It's a really good bill. It reforms the asylum, which is the main problem we had. Heightens border security. Okay. But it does give amnesty to people who are in this country already. And there is a very large amount of people in this country who literally cannot handle that. They just cannot do it, guys. As soon as they read the amnesty part, they're like, They're line cutters, fuck them. Which is just sad because someone who's been here like 5 years, which is what it does. It allows for someone who's been here for who's served in the military for 3 years. You can become a resident. Sounds good to me. They sacrificed, themselves to try and defend my right to fucking have a free life. I don't care anymore, right? There's Dreamers for 10 years, and then there's also if you've lived in the United States before January 2021, before the big crisis we had, and you undergo a background check, then you can qualify, right? Very good stuff in this bill. But they won't pass it because it gives the pathways of citizenship. So we have two of these things that could be done right now. And the main reason E-Verify is very important, guys, is because why do people come to the United States to begin with? It's because they know that employers will give them jobs. There is a demand for illegal immigration that the United States gives employers to just have carte blanche on. They get zero punishment. Every now and then you'll see like an employer get like made an example out of, but there is nothing stopping them from just trying to find illegal immigrants because they can fuck them over, right? So if we mandate E-Verify, what do you think will happen to the immigration flow if they know that they can't get jobs? And I think I don't have to answer that one. I think it's self-explanatory. As soon as you get rid of the demand, no one will try and come here illegally. A few will, obviously, but it'll be far less because no one wants to be homeless anywhere. They will not cross 3,000 miles to be homeless, but they will if they know that they can get a job for free. So securing the border, giving pathways to citizenship for people who have already been here. It's easy to do this. Most illegal immigrants pay taxes. They pay sales tax. They usually have car loans. We can easily tell if they've been here for a long time. I mean, rent, they have to live somewhere.
if they can produce rent payment, I mean, there's just no end to how many ways we can figure this out. And then we can mandate E-Verify. But if we just skip number 2, 14.6 million people potentially could just be unemployed. And that is like 6% of our entire population. That is fucking retarded. They don't work for pennies, but they do get paid less than the average US citizen because there's a demand, like a sub market, labor supply market, and they still get paid more and have a better life than whatever they're living in, insert country here. But like, you see, all this right here wouldn't be that expensive either. I wrote up here something very specific. So in the One Big Beautiful Bill, if you guys read that, Trump literally asked for $175 billion more money to DHS for ICE. And I find it fucking incredible because is the border secure or not? The answer is yes. It's already in October now. It's 9,000 now. The city I live in is 80,000 people. That means for an entire year, less than the city I live in has been encountered, that means illegal or legal, on the southwest border than the city I live in over the entire year. There is no border security problem anymore. So we are giving $175 billion more dollars to a department that doesn't need to secure the border harder. I just fucking losing my mind whenever I read that. It's just so fucking dumb. We could probably use that money for a lot of things, by the way. A lot of good things. I need to finish my guitar really fast, though. So I guess
Members of the Knesset, it is now my distinct honor to invite the...
I don't give a fuck. This is all garbage. Israel needs to fucking try Netanyahu for war crimes. I mean, he doesn't just get to, wash his hands now. I'm sorry. Fuck that guy. And I support Israel, by the way. I just think Netanyahu, Ben-Gvir, Yoav Gallant need to be tried for war crimes. I was watching something yesterday, so I'll just put that up while I finish streaming. This is a German guy who made a very good video on Charlie Kirk, and just so people know, if you're curious, I watch Charlie Kirk all the time. I disagree with him in like every fucking way possible, but I definitely was not happy about the assassination, and I don't think assassinations should be something that anyone like. It is not inconsequential to me, as this man says, because he's from Germany, but I think this is the best critique so far I've seen of someone who's respectful to him at the same time. I'm in favor of that. You're right. We have the capability of doing that. But the problem is that we need to reduce the supply of illegal or sub labor supply demand. So we could proliferate or like expand upon our legal entries, but what I'm talking about specifically there is a reduction in the supply of illegal immigrant labor. So it would increase the demand for illegal immigrants, but we could inversely, without simultaneously ruining both, expand the supply for legal labor and demand for legal immigrants to come here. There's no reason we can't do both. But the illegal immigrants, it's hard to, again, remember what I said earlier? This video? Yeah. Oh, a different one. What I said earlier is that it is much easier for a country to assimilate people. And keep in mind, Latin American countries assimilate pretty easily into the United States because we have a lot of Spanish-speaking population. So it's not like a Syrian going to Sweden. The European Union has a different problem. And they're usually smaller population countries. But if you want to actually implement or like incorporate or include or, you know, involve someone in your economy, you kind of need to know where they are, who they are, and how they came in, right? So it makes it much more difficult for us to spend money properly to have people assimilate into the economy and assimilate well. We can't like get them into good school programs.
Welcome to America, the land of the free, where dreams
Oh, I have this
become
down, I
reality.
think.
What would you like to have?
Sir, one green card, please.
Of course.
I'm so happy that India's just like, fuck you, Trump, like Modi or whatever. Like, what happened again? Like, Trump called him and it was like, yeah, I think you should nominate me for the Peace Prize because I totally ended your war. And then Modi was like, fuck you, no you didn't. Like, suggested, you know, like,
195 years.
yeah, you know, like,
That's
how was it ending your war?
Sir, can I get something that's a little bit faster?
Here you go. This you have to win in the lottery, my friend.
Lottery, okay, sir.
I'm at, well, here, I'm going to be, I talk confidently about a lot of things, guys, but I actually don't know too much about him specifically. So on this, I will be silent. I really don't like talking about things I don't know. So I know that India is pretty complex as well, and a lot of subpopulations in India, especially the northern parts, are treated, I mean, depending on where your religious sect is, right? Treated very differently. So I'm a little unfamiliar though with most of it, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. It's a parable of mine, okay? Interesting pitch, sorry. Put it back.
My luck is very great. I have won 10 lotteries back in my home, so I will get it 100% surety.
Oh, amazing. So if you win, you can start working from tomorrow. But bimar mat padna.
Why, sir? What's the problem in that?
Let me show you. Come. Look at this fellow right here. He's been in coma for 3 years, and this is his hospital bill.
Sir, how is this much?
Man, what can I say? He lost his job because he felt sick. And then, no job, no insurance, no H-1B visa. So to top it all off, he's now living here illegally.
The music, oh my god.
Welcome to America.
Fuck yeah. Coming again.
Entrepreneurship is gambling.
Oh my god.
These
Alright, you can normalize your audio, buddy. Holy shit. It's on. Fuck.
are the words of my dad back when I started my first business. So, you see, my dad is from the army, and growing up, all he wanted for me and my sister was a safe and secure career. And safety for him, like the majority of Indian parents, was become an engineer and then go to America for your postgrad. You know, every single person around me, including my dad's friends, my friends, all of them did engineering, went to America for their masters, got fat packages, while I was still stuck here figuring things out. In hindsight, that's the best decision I ever made, but back then, if you didn't go to America, you were missing out. But I'll tell you what, after the last 2 years of carnage,
The layoffs, mass layoff.
The layoffs.
Amazon doing another round of layoffs.
Mark Zuckerberg's year of efficiency back in focus this morning after another round of sweeping layoffs and job cuts.
saw more than 2 lakh people getting fired, out of which 40% were Indians. People are finally waking up. Among the people who got fired, one of them was my dad's friend's son, and I remember when the news of his firing reached back home. The uncle, who's actually a heart patient and had taken a loan to send him to America, was literally losing his mind because his son didn't have a job, and within 60 days, he could be kicked out of America. How the hell were they?
Our job system right now, like the saturation, as well as the inability to honestly produce fucking basic hospitals and meet these needs. Like, we have a healthcare problem in this country. We don't have enough healthcare professionals, but somehow everyone is like impacted and can't actually get those things done. Like, we can't. I don't know how, but this definitely feels like it's pretty
They're
accurate.
going to pay up the student loan. Thankfully, he got another job, but seeing the stress he and his family had to go through was absolutely heartbreaking. This is the reality of most Indians working in America. You know, you could be living there for decades, but regardless, you're always at risk of seeing your lives and careers getting disrupted, because that is how shitty the system is for immigrants in America. No, really, the chances of you becoming a US citizen are less than a zombie apocalypse wiping out the earth. And I'm not exaggerating. Take a look at this data. An Indian immigrant in the US would have to wait more than 195 years before he or she can become a US citizen. That is wild to me. Last year, India surpassed China and became the largest source of international students for America. And you know what most of these people are studying? A majority of them are either pursuing engineering, computer science, or maths. I saw a great thread on Twitter about this, you should check it out, which basically states that up to 60,000 Indian CS Masters students are going to graduate this year, but most will not find any jobs. This caught my attention, and that's when I started digging deeper, and I was literally stunned by the data I found. Wait, what, 14 days into 2024? And over 7,500 employees in America have already been laid off. It's a bloodbath out there. But I'll tell you what, this is not what shocked me. It was the whole scam that's going around the work visa in America. That is what stunned me. And I'm worried for all the Indians who are there right now. How exactly are all these Indians who are on H-1B visa?
Me stress. Hey Graham, did you read my Obsidian?
Going to survive this? Question is, can they even survive when the whole American system is gamed to screw them over? I'm not lying, it's the most ridiculous system I've come across, and I want to show you everything I learned. But before I get to it, let me tell you a story to explain where all of it started. Now, back in the 90s, the internet had started becoming the next hot big thing in America and the world. So, a lot of smart people and aspiring people.
Am I going crazy, guys? Or I swear, I'm like trying to do string, like how. I'm like, you know what? I'll try and do the strings how they want me to, but like, turn the string in the tuner is at a 45-degree angle. Okay, I have it literally exactly how it looks on there. Okay. In question, right? Exactly how it looks. All right. I whispered it to you. And then it says tune the string to pitch and turn the tuner in a counterclockwise direction. What? If I go counterclockwise, it's going to go fucking the opposite. It's going to go the other way. I just don't. There's no way that's possible. I guess, well, okay, we'll try it. We'll try it, I guess. And it looks like it wraps underneath. There's no way that is the correct way. There is literally zero chance that's the correct way. You're like, there's no fucking way. Okay, I think I got him. No. I take back everything I said.
Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk
Take
about
back everything I
Charlie
said.
Kirk and some of the
Fuck.
myth making we have seen around him and his life since he was killed in September 2025. I hope this doesn't need to be said, but just to make sure, anything I say here about Charlie Kirk doesn't justify his assassination. I'm not happy that it happened, and I don't think anything is going to be better for anyone because he's dead. The first attempt at myth making is brought to us by the YouTuber Shoe on Head and her video, These People Are Sick. The center point of this video is a compilation of different people being happy that Charlie Kirk was killed, and our narrator expresses her disgust with these people. Again, I didn't celebrate the killing of Charlie Kirk. I try not to become too cynical and detached about things that shouldn't be regular occurrences, like assassinations or school shootings. That's just a personal choice of mine, but I also don't share the utter disgust that Shuonhead expresses about the people shown in this compilation. It seems
Well, I studied
fairly
econometrics, right?
inconsequential to me, honestly. But it is
Econometrics is
interesting
different.
how this video lays bare a
Econometrics is a BS, not a BA. And I would say that you're somewhat correct sometimes. I have studied it myself. I studied the school of it in economics as well. Well, I've studied the political doctrine and the economic one. You want my thoughts on it? And then which one? The political doctrine or the economic one? So for the political doctrine, very good, very bad. Depends. This is the 18th of Brumaire, which is where Marx talks about historical materialism, dialectical materialism, expands upon what that means. Still used today, people just don't know it. Really good. This is a really good book. Das Kapital, if you can get past all the fucking metaphors about capitalism being a blood-sucking vampire and shit. Because he definitely doesn't hold back on that. He's pretty funny sometimes. This book here is perfect if you actually want to understand capitalism. It's kind of like a manual definitionally for capitalism. Most of it's just literally about capitalism and then defining like terminology in it. As for his communism, sorry. For something that people don't realize about Marx is that Marx was the first economist to understand the importance of technological innovation in an economy, which I'm not sure why more people don't know that. Marxism has a few strengths that are, as an economic doctrine, that are there. He essentially gave rise to concerns about limited liability, labor protection, and so forth and so on. But communism and Marxism do not scale well as it relates to like the modern economy. So there's a unfortunate point, kind of like in physics, where you know how like the laws of physics break down once we get to a quantum level. We just don't have a unifying theory, right? I think Marx suffers from the same thing, but on like an economic level, because it is impossible in the development of a business to try and democratically decide when is the right time to institute a democratic, pure democracy in your workplace. Because when people think of Apple, they immediately go, or like Google, yeah, that's way too big. I think we should, democracy should be a little bit more there. But then if we individualize this to a small business, that is not so clear. That is really hard for me to be like, yeah, I think the guy who invested his entire life, 20 years, should be able to be kicked out by the workers he hires just off of a whim. It incentivizes a really pernicious cycle of, one, people fucking each other over, and then no one wanting to start businesses. Like truly, no one. Like, why would you want to actually be the one to start it? You would start protecting all your skills. No one would share anything. It doesn't scale well. And then I could probably go deeper on a few more topics if you want me to on that one. There are some strengths though. Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming in, watching for a bit. Hope you have a wonderful day, man. I try. Did you read what I sent you, Graham? You're still in here? Just want you to be prepared. Fucking, I'm retarded. Sorry. Hey, Samurai, do you mind typing it in chat so I can read it better? That's okay. Sorry. Yeah, can you type it in chat just so I can read it? Is that okay, Samurai? Oh, you're fine. The objectification route might be kind of interesting because you can go down the idea that it's invalidating some sort of like I like the objectification route. The same rules one, porn actors also have this. If you start to continuously assault the actor, then you can face problems. And the third one doesn't have an argument in it, the end of the day part. The consumption part is true. I think there's an argument there. How bad is it exactly empirically? There's nothing wrong with selfish desires, though. Because we do the same thing in sports. We see them as objects. We see athletes as objects. But the uncontrolled consumption part, empirically, I think porn can be shown to be bad, right? But the inverse is also true, Samurai. Chastity and purity culture present in fundamentalist communities have extremely bad sex practices. It's extremely unnatural. So, do you think pornography should be illegal and immoral, or do you think that pornography should be regulated like a sport? Neither do porn actors. Porn actors just treat it like a job, which is what fighting is. The spectators treat fighters like objects, though. They're not friends. You think spectators of sports do not treat athletes like objects? I was talking about the spectators, though, wasn't I? Isn't that what we were talking about? Are you saying just because it's a skill? Just because it's a skill makes it somehow moral? Do you think something's moral just because it's a skill? Fighting's not really a necessary skill in the modern day, though. How does just because something is skill or is a skill make it moral? What is the argument there? Wouldn't the guiding duty or the guiding thing behind that skill be what makes it moral? As in, like, making money or being good at making money is a skill. It's not moral. Being good at helping people is not moral. Being good at baking cookies is not moral. What you do or what guides the skill, what guides your principles, is what makes it moral. See if I can do this quickly. I do have to fucking go to the dentist really fast. And then I'll be back on streaming once I come back. No. Fuck. Oh my god. Fuck. Already at G? Oh fuck. There we go. I was like, what the? I agree with what you said. I don't think that gives a moral principle, right? There's no morality in the competition. What is the moral argument in the competition? Me being a good track athlete, Samurai, was not moral. There's no moral truth there. If there was a moral truth there, then it would be really bad because people who were not good track athletes would. I like the objectification one. That's what I'm leaning towards, of a better one. And then the consumption one. Like, is it negatively impacting society? And empirically, I think this would be an easier one to go for. Okay. Fuck. Damn it. So annoying. Is the warrior mindset a moral thing? Huh? Lost me on that one. What is the moral mindset or the warrior mindset have to do with anything? God damn, I'm doing such a bad job at this, bro. Fuck me. Probably some of the worst shit I've ever done. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. I should have just done it the way that I normally do. While interesting, Samurai, what is moral about the Japanese samurai? Is it swordplay, learning how to fight, or is it Exactly. It's not about the fighting. What makes us think that samurais act in a moral way, samurai, has nothing to do with the fighting itself. It's like Bushido, honor. Those are all things that we prescribe moral qualities to, samurai. There's no, unfortunately though, there is no honor in being a fighter in the UFC. That's not what's happening. It's for show. Samurai would never do anything remotely like that. Ritual and honor are not things that are meant to be for show, right? Especially to a samurai. No. No. Get back in there. Get back in there. No. I'm never doing it this way again. No. Fuck. Bro, I'm literally gonna lose my mind right now. Fuck me, dude. I need to fucking go. I have a fucking dentist appointment. I'm just gonna put a little bit more. This is bothering the fuck out of me. Good, Grand. Good. I'm fucking going crazy right now. I'm sorry, guys. Oh my. I am struggling. That is what's happening right now. I try and fucking string my guitar a new way, and it's not fucking, not a way I like. I will. I do have to go to the dentist, guys. That's why I haven't really been talking, because I have to be there at 9:30 in 15 minutes. So I will be streaming again in like probably like an hour. I have to go fucking get a cap really fast. So, so an hour, okay? I'll respond to your stuff afterwards, Samurai. I have 15 minutes to go. I can. I'm sorry, man. I'll read your can you copy what you did and just whisper me so I can read it while I'm there? But I have to leave like right now. So I will catch you guys in like an hour, okay? I'm so sorry.